Hi, good morning. My name is Scott Forcino. I'm an associate broker with eXp Realty based out of New York City metro area. I founded PlugIntro so that real estate professionals in their context can gain the maximum exposure in their markets. I think the best way to promote your business is by introducing others. And we have today with us Nancy Stingone, who's a friend and a fellow local networker and has a fantastic business. And we're going to share how and why Nancy positively affects all parties to a transaction and those important participants in the real estate industry. Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning, and thank you for having me today, Scott.
Yes, thanks for coming. You're kind of bringing in the fall, which is a new kind of time of year for celebration and new season. So we kind of can move on to the holidays and for real, I think, more gift giving awareness.
Yes, this is the season for giving for the next 3 months and on. And there's always a reason to connect and show value and show that you are that special person when you send your special gift.
Right. Now tell me about your company and how long you're doing this and who are some of your best contacts and clients.
So I am Nancy Stingone, Unique Designs, and I always say I am your business and personal gifting concierge. I've been doing this business for over 30 years on different platforms, different levels, and I've been growing, and I just love sharing what I do through businesses. I work very closely with realtors and letting them know the different steps that they can be gifting and the process in doing that and how that looks. So it's more than just sending a gift at the end of at the closing table. There's always that middle point.
Interesting. Now I know from my experience in transactions that everyone gets really excited, of course, at the contract because now someone's buying, someone's selling, they're confident in their direction, they wanted the house and the people who are selling want to move on. And of course the closing, because that's the end, that's where the seller moves on to their next place, makes a few bucks, and the buyer settles into their new home, whether it's family or retirees, but they're excited about the next chapter of lives. But tell me what your thoughts are around any other period that may be left out of this opportunity for gifting.
So my thoughts on this is that, again, there's that middle point. So we're talking about mortgage lenders, we're talking about bankers, not just the realtors, lawyers, the title people, all those in between. You want to stay connected with the client. And personally, I want to make sure that everyone in this process is doing what they need for me and that everything is moving slowly. So when these different industries, whether it's a lawyer, the lender, title people, insurance, that they are letting me know as the person purchasing the house, the buyer or seller, that things are going smoothly. Because if you stop in the middle of, okay, well, you'll hear from us when things get approved and move along, your client is going to feel that things aren't moving along so smoothly. So you want to let them know that it's okay, we've got this, and staying connected with those different, the realtor, the lawyer, the title company, the insurance, all that happens, all the process that happens in the middle. We want to stay all connected. And you want clients to feel comfortable and safe.
From our conversations offline and for what you're letting me know, I think I agree. I think the best way to stay in touch and have a positive impact with the participants in the transaction is in the middle. Now, we know in the middle, if a buyer is applying for a loan and that loan is approved, that's cause for celebration.
Yes,
and that means that once there is a satisfaction of all the mortgage loan underwriting conditions, the bank can issue a clear to close, and then everyone should be comfortable. And when I say everyone, I think you just mentioned, and I'll see if I'm correct, that you have buyers and sellers and lawyers and lawyers and realtors, lender, title, and insurance. That's about 7, 8 people that have a chance to be gifting and to be acknowledged and to be, excuse me, benefiting others, because you have, instead of 2 times to celebrate, a contract and a closing, now you have something that really, really is a happy occasion. And it is something that really should go noticed. Too many times, it becomes a private affair where a buyer applies for a loan, gets a loan. Others get wind of it, maybe through some emails or some chatter. The lawyers have a duty to formally give notice to the other party that this buyer satisfied their condition, but it's not met with fanfare. So now you have the opportunity, as you and I discussed, to give the real estate providers a chance to positively impact these clients. And within the industry as well, the professionals can send an appropriate gift from your company to each other for getting the job done.
Yes, and that could be as...
The lender should thank the realtor for doing the hard work and getting the property done through negotiations and professional efforts. And the realtors could or so be gifted because they secured the financing. So there's so many intra elements of the deal, and also, of course, the ultimate beneficiary is the client. So, I mean, I think it's a great idea.
And it can be done on such a small level. It does not have to be done on a, very large scale. It could be a personalized card that we offer personalization with your logo. It could be a token gift, a budget-friendly token gift, again, with your logo and your information sent, just so everyone in the process stays connected and lets each other know that we're not just at a stalemate sitting around waiting for that next piece of paper.
Right. Okay. So it's really 2 things. It's staying top of mind awareness, and everyone loves to get good news. I mean, and let's be real. Under the best of circumstances, as I think we could say, and this is October 2022, under the prior set of circumstances where there's a great market, mortgage money was cheap, sellers had equity, there were really exaggerated deals with over asking prices and short-term listings. You were more comfortable, you were more certain. Now we're entering into a period where you're not as certain. So if you feel like you might be in some shark-infested waters, Nancy, you have the life raft that can come and really make people comfortable and get out of a fear-based scenario. And now they're really can finally rest easy. They know they're buying, they know they're selling, and the good news comes from the professional that you work with.
Yes. And I always put myself in the position that I'm the buyer or the seller. How do I want the lawyer, the lenders, the realtor to treat me and to keep me in the loop that everything is going smoothly? I think that's very important.
Sure. So really through our discussions, and thank you for the idea, there are really 3 chances within any deal for the professionals to acknowledge and gift clients and each other. I mean, it's really just should be almost an institutional effort.
Yes.
Really 1, 2, 3, contract, mortgage contingency date, and closing. When you're in a contract, it says today's date, it gives a tentative closing date, and it gives a tentative mortgage date by which the mortgage needs to be approved. So why not mark those on our calendar, stay in touch, and get ready, have a budget for those 3 touches.
Right. And we want to hear, we did it. And, how does that make everyone feel in the process? That's a celebration, So. It's
You're making
those
people
touches.
comfortable in a potentially scary deal.
Yes,
We're looking, I mean, rates are the highest they've been in 20 years. So that should
exactly.
tell you right off the bat that that is going to be a different set of circumstances. People are not, that I heard recently someone say, oh, the rates are threes. I mean, they've missed the memo of what's gone on in the last 4 or 5 months. People are
Yes,
still looking at, crazy internet ads, and the lenders are having a tough time bringing people to reality. And truthfully, the realtors may not understand that how much of a difference the monthly mortgage payment could be in the purchase of a home. So that's an opportunity for everyone to be educated and work better together.
yes,
So what will you do
exactly.
now? I mean, let me hear your now. This is Nancy's approach. I know you're part of networking groups and you're part of some really high level organizations. Will you be reaching realtors to help their clients? Will you be reaching lenders to help realtors? I mean, what do you think your next steps are?
I am always reaching out to support realtors, lenders, bankers in the corporate world, in their business transactions, because again, you need to show your clients the value of what you're doing for them.
Mhm.
And I help on a gifting level to do just that. So I have a real estate gifting program that I offer my realtors, and we work together where we can even, we do personalize your gifts. If someone has a baby and they want a baby gift, we make that gift personal.
Hmm.
So your client will come back and say, you know what, Scott, you really took the time to think about this gift, and we appreciate all that you've done for us. Because I I think realtors have to realize too all the work that, well, you do realize it, but there were so many steps, I'm sure over 100 steps that you as a realtor have to take
Right.
in one contract.
Well, you make a good
So,
point. I mean, I call these real estate deals, I call them sophisticated financial and legally complicated matters. So all the people involved have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. But that brings me to the point where the client may not know how much you care. No, they may, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. They may not care how much you know until they really know how much you care. You get a
right,
lot of smart people.
people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Exactly.
That's so
You said it.
true.
You said it correctly. So, a deal does not have to be a bunch of smart people. This isn't, programming a computer. This is a real personal matter where you're leaving your family home and it's filled with so much anxiety and stress. So now this is, you give the opportunity to punctuate someone's news with a real emotional impact.
Yes.
So
And
talk is cheap.
I I take that one step off of your whole 100 touches that you have to do, and I take care of that from the beginning to the end. And honestly, you come out looking like a superstar and how caring you are. So it's so important, the emotion of connecting with your clients, and that could be in any industry,
Well,
you
let me
know.
ask you this. I mean, you mentioned your service. Are you are you open to learning the mortgage contingency date of a deal so that agents don't have to remain fully cognizant of it? So would you learn within a deal, let's say we're in a contract on April 1st, and let's say that the closing date might be June 1st. Are you open to learning of the date on May 15th or thereabouts? So it would
Yes.
relieve the agents of that opportunity. You could almost delegate the homework, and you could reach the attorney and say, how are we doing? And then good news, you could be the bearer of good news. You could take that off their shoulders.
I love that suggestion, and that's such a great thoughtful way of doing it. Yes. I am absolutely open to it, and I would be available to do that, to process that service for them.
Okay, so let's play this out. Let's play this out. Every house on the MLS that is no longer available, if the property's available, there is no deal, there's no date for the mortgage. However, all the properties that are marked what they call, I believe, pending, and some of your professional realtors can explain that well, every one of them are in a deal. And of course, that didn't close yet. That means there's a midpoint still up in the air. You can learn that information. You can gain the assistance of a colleague and say, well, we got 40 deals that are waiting to close. We don't know if that date has happened or not. And even if it did happen 10 days or 2 weeks ago, it's not too late to send a gift.
And sending that gift would be based on just letting them know that you're still there trying to help.
No, I'm saying that if a property is on the market, there's no contract, there's no mortgage contingency date, and there's no closing date. It didn't happen yet. It's premature. The cake isn't ready. But once the property is in contract, then you have three things: a contract date, a middle point mortgage date, and lastly, a closing date. So now you have three reasons to celebrate. So the people in the deal could or should know that you will, with their permission, everyone's awareness, act on their behalf or with them in conjunction or collaboration to see how they can stay on top of mind awareness and demonstrate their value and show that their efforts were fruitful. Hey, we got it done. We're in a great place. Congratulations. So I'm asking you, my first question is, will you take that responsibility? You said yes, but I will tell you that the way that you can do that, again, speak to your colleagues. I don't think this would be private information if everyone consented, that you would assist them in getting some way for them to congratulate or acknowledge the fact that we've made real progress in closing this transaction
ahead of time. And then I can help them, support them in just doing it automatically for them.
Well, you'd have two chances: the mortgage date and the closing date.
And I do that now in the real estate financial planners. They'll send me their monthly listing of clients. Some will acknowledge their birthdays. Others just do it as a token. Thank you for your business. And I just handle that. Their assistant sends me the information and I move forward with that on a monthly basis. Okay. So this is a great platform to assist and support realtors in this process.
It sure is. So, I think that the next step is we're basically using this interview as an announcement of what services you'll provide. The next step is you and I will make 30, 60, 90-second videos that we can explain to them, hey, listen, your date's coming up, or when it happens, I'm here for you, and let your clients know the good news that you will be acknowledging very, 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 in a very special way their achievement of the conclusion of the deal or each of the steps.
That sounds great. And again, it's always a great way to celebrate along the way.